Okay, so whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. So tell me about your work here at the dance studio.
Well, I
How
get
long have you
here.
been doing it?
Well, I've been doing that teaching all my, I mean, like 47 years teaching. But in this place, about, I'm gonna say 10 years in this place. For 67 studio. I used to teach in that little house, of course. But then they always said, I'm gonna build you a new studio because we're gonna rent the other studio, the other little house. So they built this for me maybe 10 years ago.
So what do you do here? Like what?
I teach folklorico and flamenco, but my specialty is flamenco. I was the first lady to bring flamenco in 1954. They used to dance folklorico, and they used to dance Spanish dancing and paso dobles and folk dance. But when I got here, I brought from Mexico flamenco. I went to Mexico in 1950. I was 12, 51. Went there to Bellas Artes. Bellas Artes in my time was a school of dance. So I wanted to be a teacher, so there was nothing here. I had to go and get my degree in Mexico City. And then I was there, and then I came back and I went to Spain, to Madrid, and got my degree for flamenco. So I teach two cultures.
So you went to Spain too?
Yes, Madrid.
So what is that you teach the students here?
I'm sorry?
What do you teach the students here?
I teach folklorico and flamenco.
Okay.
Both.
What do you think is like the biggest lesson that you try to?
You mean the biggest group?
No, the biggest. When you teach your students, what's the biggest lesson that you try to give them?
Well, first arms, be graceful and teach them how to walk, really, and dancing and many other things. I teach castanet and arms and skirts, how to move the skirts, and folkloric is so different from flamenco because flamenco you do your arms up there and the folkloric is down.
A lot of people get it confused.
Yeah, they get confused. Oh yes, very. Even in the movie The Alamo, I was at the movie The Alamo with John Wayne, and the dress that I was wearing there isn't a flamenco skirt. It's a folklorico skirt, but it's what they wanted, And they thought, I guess because it was a cantina scene, that would be perfect with the petticoats and all that. But that's folklorico. But you know what? Whatever they wanted, I was there to take directions on what costumes, and I didn't take the costumes. I didn't furnish the costumes. Mr. Wayne did, his company. So I had to use whatever they put. Now the shoes are mine. Now the shoes
I
are
noticed the skirt. It's like one of those. I mean the shirt. The shirt's like the Mexican.
Yeah, folklorico, because they, like you say, they get confused with flamenco and folklorico and flamenco, Spanish dance, and that's the. I don't know why they picked that skirt, but you know what? That's what they wanted, I didn't furnish the costumes. I went there with all my shoes. Now my shoes are flamenco. The red shoes are flamencos, but the rest of the costume is not. It's very peasant, and I think maybe because it was at that time, and guess 2000, what is it, 1910? It was like the war from the Alamo. So way back then, I don't know if they had ruffles. I mean, I don't know if John Wayne know that, but the ruffles in Spain, they're since the 1800s. The costume flamenco is from the 1800s, maybe further than that.
So is one of your goals to teach people the difference between flamenco?
Yes, I made them. I teach them that one is from the culture of Mexico, and we cannot forget that because we're Mexican. Some of the kids were born here. They're Texan, but from my grandfather that's Mexicano or an uncle or the abuelo, el abuelito, el papá, I don't know. I'm Mexican American. Yo nací aquí. I was born and raised in San Antonio, but my father was Mexican. My father came from he was born in Sabina Hidalgo, and he was there till about, he went to Monterrey with my aunts, and he was there like maybe 5 years, and then crossed the border. They only paid 5 cents each. My grandma, my grandpa, my father, and his sister. And they just walked without no papers. And getting here in San Antonio, my grandmother was pregnant. Estaba embarazada, and she had a baby, and my grandmother passed away, and the baby too. So my grandfather buried my grandmother here, and we stayed here. Then my father was 7 years old, and he stayed here. My grandpa stayed here because of my grandma was buried here. So from there, my father grew up and got married to my mother. My mother is Texan, My mother was born in Lockhart, Texas. And I was born in San Antonio, born and raised in San Antonio, in the West Side. And today they told me I was going to be the Grand Marshal from the parade that says September on Guadalupe Street. It's going to start there. And it was an honor because I was born there. I said,
on the West Side?
Yes, and one of the first theaters that I performed was the Teatro Guadalupe. So it's right there where we're going to get together for the parade. So I said, I'm more than, flattered. I'm very excited for that.
You were born, it's me, or how do you say your name?
Teresa?
No, isn't it Martinez?
Oh, my name is Teresa Martinez.
Right.
Garcia is my mother, Martinez my dad. But I'm married to Mr. Willie Champion,
Right.
El Curro, and his father was white.
Okay, but you were born Teresa Martinez.
Teresa Martinez.
Okay. So how did you start, I know you started to get into it, but how did you start with flamenco?
Well, I went to Mexico really, I wanted to become a teacher, okay? Because I learned, the little that I learned in folklorico in Spanish dancing was with the nuns, the sisters. And I went across.
The nuns, they did flamenco?
Sisters, no, not flamenco, folklorico.
Okay.
That's what I teach. I didn't know flamenco. I didn't even know what the word was. You would ask me then, I said, I don't know what that is, because I didn't. So I learned there with the sisters in catechism. Before catechism, we danced a little bit, and I learned how to dance. But one day I was crossing from the school, David Barclay, to San Alfonso, where the sisters were. They were teaching dancing. So I heard the castanets. That's something like clicking, and I said, what is that? So I went to the window, I saw this lady, and she was teaching castanets and dancing. See, there was, besides the sister, they had another lady. But we didn't know that. We just went to catechism and learned how to dance. We did catechism, and then we have time we dance with the sisters because they were teaching us.
So who was teaching the castanets?
Miss Ceballos, the lady was Miss Ceballos. Was a lady that was volunteered there to teach, but see, the sisters didn't let us know because it was at the same time. Mm-hmm. The catechism and the dancing was just at the same time. But the little kids that were not, they didn't want to make the first communion or whatever, they went to dancing. And my parents wanted me to do first communion. So I was in catechism. But I heard the castanets, and one day I just saw and I liked it, and I stayed there. And they went to catechism, and then the next day I stayed there. And they went to catechism. I was in the window. So the lady came out and said, Teresa, what's your name? I said, my name is Teresa Martinez. And he goes, I see you here 3 days. Where are you supposed to be? I said, in catechism. Well, why don't you go? I said, because I like to see you. I like to see little girls dance. He goes, why don't you join? And I went inside and sit down, and for the first day, and I sit down, and then he goes, you want to try it? I said, I'm going to try it. I got up, and it was the first line, second line, third line. I was in the third line because I was a beginner. I knew what I knew a little bit of la raspa, the nuns would teach us that, but she was going to be bigger stuff. So I started on the third line. By 2 weeks later, I was in the front. And they had a show that was called May Feast. And it was at the Municipal Auditorium. And the lady said, I need a solo. So whoever plays the castanet is better. And I was attracted to castanets. The lady lent me a pair, and I would play them every day. I got so good that I got the solo. Because the solo needed castanets. I was the only one that played. Because I guess I was attracted.
Okay, so that was here in San Antonio, right?
In San Antonio, on Zarzamora Street.
Okay. And you said, so when you first started, there was no flamenco community?
No, there was. Well, it was. They teach Spanish dancing. Mm-hmm. Spanish dancing is entirely different. Flamenco has guitar. Flamenco is with guitar, and Spanish dancing was with the orchestra or with the record back then. Now they do CDs and cassettes and all that, but flamenco is with guitar. Okay, it's with guitar. But the studios here in San Antonio were very limited on guitars, San Antonio. So my students dance in the Mercado every other week, and it's with CDs, but it's flamenco with guitar, but with CDs. That's flamenco with guitar. And of course they do La Negra, and La Raspa, and Ratoncito, they do polka. I teach everything. So I was attracted to flamenco because I went to Mexico City to become a teacher, not a dancer, a teacher.
What kind of teacher?
Folklorico teacher. I went to Mexico.
Folklorico teacher, okay.
Yeah, folklorico teacher, but that's what I learned here. So I went and I knew Spanish dancing too. So I went And I was there like maybe a month or two. And then I heard guitar. And again, Castanes, I'm attracted to Castanes. Up to now, Castanes that's my love. Castanes are my love. And I teach my little girls 3 years old guitar, Castanes. And the lady said, little girls 3 years, Castanes? I said, yes. You should learn Castanes. I mean, because that's my love. That's my first love, Castanes. And so I went and I saw that and I came back and I said, Mom, I saw this man playing the guitar. And the lady, the dancer, was playing Castanes. And my mother goes, and? I said, I want to take the class. My mother said, oh no, you're going to take folklorico because we came over here for folklorico. You're going to be a folklorico teacher. I said, I can learn both. And my mother said, I don't have the money. It's either you take flamenco or you take folklorico. You pick. So I thought about it and I said, I love flamenco. I think I get chills and still that right now I hear flamenco music or songs and sometimes I cry. It's in me. Flamenco is part of my life. So I pushed the folklorico and I went to flamenco. And I was the first girl band that brought flamenco to San Antonio in 1954. But I didn't have a guitarist. So my mom said, well, you don't have a guitar, so you're not going to dance. I said, I can dance not flamenco, but I can dance folklorico. Because I know enough to dance folklorico and to teach folklorico, so I started teaching folklorico. Then I went to shows with the band, the Portillo band, Paul Elizondo band, big names, Ramiro Cervera's band. I was a little girl back then. And I started to dance with them. And I went and talked to them and they saw me dance. And I started to tour with Ramiro Cervera and Paul Elizondo and all those people.
Who is that?
The band director, Paul Elizondo.
Okay, and that was folklorico?
No, that was Spanish dancing.
Spanish dancing.
Mm-hmm. And the flamenco, I didn't have a guitar, so I couldn't dance it, but I knew how to.
So how did you come to meet your husband?
Well, when I was dancing, my mother went to the court, and she says, my daughter is a dancer, and I need a permit. My mother was very wise, very talented. And she goes, my daughter is a dancer, go to Mexico and come back and go and come back. And I need a permit because I don't want nobody to stop my daughter where she would be performing, okay? Because there were nightclubs back then. And they gave me that permit, and it was like, I had to be there an hour before so I can get dressed. And as soon as I finished dancing, they gave me another hour. It was a total of 3 hours on the clock. My mother had the permit. And so she would show it to me. Because sometimes they would come and ask my mother, she's underage. And my mother would go to the person. This is a permit. My mother hired lawyers and everything. So they wouldn't hurt me or hurt my family because I was dancing in nightclubs. So it was legal. I was a professional dancer at 12 years old, legal, by court, by lawyers. I had a lawyer. My mother was very smart. She was going to make sure that nothing would stop my career or get her, me or her, take me away from her or something like that, So I started dancing, and my husband was a trio, Los Cristales. My husband was 6 years older than me, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He was 18, and I was 12, the very first time I performed. And he has two brothers. It was three brothers, and they played trio Los Panchos. Well, but it was trio Los Cristales, and they were brothers. John and Willie. My husband's name is Willie Champion. So my mother, after the show, saw that they play guitar. She said, I'm going to ask him. And she went to my husband. And my husband was a requinto. Have you been to mi tierra? Mm-hmm. Do you know Chepe? Mm-hmm. The little short man with white hair that plays beautiful requinto. That's the kind of guitar my husband played. The requinto, the little one. Not the big one, the little one. Requinto. The smallest guitar in the trio or in the mariachi. And my mother said, after the show, his name is Willie, right? My husband says, yes. And she goes, Mira, you don't know me, but the one that danced. She goes, oh, the little girl. She goes, yes, that's my daughter. And she knows how to dance flamenco, but we need a guitarist. And my husband goes, and she goes, do you know flamenco? No. My husband goes, what's that? She's never heard that word. What's flamenco? My mom said, oh, flamenco is music that plays with the guitar while my daughter would be dancing and you play the guitar. She goes, no, ma'am, I don't know. Okay. Second show, following next week, my mother bought a Sabicas record. And he goes, mira, Mr. Willie, mire, señor Willie, le voy a dar este disco, apréndalo, learn it, please. So you can play for my daughter, because my daughter, we spend a lot of money in flamenco, but she cannot use it because we don't have a guitarist. And because he said then when we got married, he said, and I said, that lady's crazy, I'll never play that. And he heard the music, he got scared, he goes, I just couldn't get the hang of it, you know. But my mother would say, did you learn something, Mr. Willie? No, Miss Martinez, okay. And for months. Then one day she told his brothers, you know what, I'm gonna learn one. Because I want the lady to still stop bothering me, my mother. So he goes, Mr. Willie, did you learn something? And he goes, after 3 months, he goes, yes, I learned one. Can you play for my daughter on the show? He goes, wow. He goes, I'll bring my guitar and maybe can we get together somewhere? My mom said, at my house. My husband built a room for Teresita, and it's got a mirror, it's got wood floors, and it's her practice room. It's a little room to practice. And he goes, okay. So he went and he started playing malagueña, and I started like, because I knew malagueña de la Escuela, but I didn't have anybody to play. So
what is it called?
Malagueña de la Escuela. I think I have the music. And he starts playing and I start dancing. So my mother called the owner of the club and said, Cubano, they call me Cubano, because he was Cuban. Cubano, el trío Los Cristales, el señor Willie, aprendió una pieza flamenca. ¿Puede mi hija bailar? Ese. Y dijo, pues ya baila con orquesta. You already dance with the band. It was Ramiro Portillo and Ramiro Cervera. And he goes, no, but I want you to see this flamenco. You're going to love it. He goes, oh, well, okay, Miss Martinez, whatever you want, as long as Teresita dances next week. And I went and he went. And then that one, people we had a standing ovation because I never heard guitar and dancing. It was new in San Antonio. It was in 1954.
Okay. What was the name of the nightclub?
Cuban Dinner Club. Cuban Dinner Club. It was a dinner and a show. They always had dinner and show.
Cuban Dinner Club.
And then they had the dinner. They served dinner. They had the dinner. They had the dance with Ramiro Cervera or Pole de Sondo and Portillo, and then the show.
Where was that at?
Here in San Antonio.
On the west side somewhere?
No, it was on Florida Street.
Florida.
Where the bank is right now. On Florida Street. Okay. I think there's a big parking lot there. Now, it used to be a club, but now it's like a big parking lot. You know where the Crest is? Whenever you have time, you go. The Crest downtown, the Crest. It's a 7-Eleven now or something. It used to call Crest, the Crest. It's on Flores and Commerce. Okay, it's a 7-Eleven or something like that. They sell like drinks and chips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind City Hall?
Yes, okay. That was called the Crest. I don't know if the sign is still there. Then two doors down, there was a little bar and a little restaurant. Then the dinner club. What is a parking lot?
Okay.
Estaba en Travis, in the corner of Travis and Flores. That club.
Travis and Flores.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We're right next
There was next to it, like in front was
where Carmen's is now.
¿Cómo?
Where Carmen's is now?
No, a block. Where Carmen is.
Yeah.
Like 2 blocks down. My daughter sings in Carmen La Calle. Okay, like 2 blocks down.
Okay.
I'm there. It's a parking lot now. It used to be huge, beautiful. It was called Cuban Dinner Club.
Okay.
Y el señor le decían cubano. So I danced. I had a standing ovation. People just loved it. And they told my mother, oh, we love what Teresita's doing. Something different, da 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 da. So now I go to Mexico. And my mother, and he saw that it was a big hit. And now my husband starts playing more and more and more. And we still rehearsing. They went to Mexico. And he took only 1 class in Mexico City because it was too expensive. So he went and he got 1 class or 2 and came home and we need more. Now we know more flamenco. And it was like, success.
So he just learned from listening to the records?
I'm sorry?
He learned by listening to records?
Yeah, it was
And practicing?
self-taught. You call that self-taught.
Okay.
Before you leave, I want you to hear his music I had. He just did it by himself.
Okay.
And then he went to Mexico, and the man just told him how to go up and how to go down and how to do this. And he goes, "You're doing it, Willie, but it's wrong. You're gonna go take flamenco to Estados Unidos, the United States, do it right." So he showed how to put the fingers and how to throw. Instead of this, it's up. Flamenco is up. It's not down. Sometimes it's down, but it's usually up and down. And the regular guitar is like this. Everything is like this. But in flamenco, it's up and down, and then hit the guitar and up and down, hit the guitar. So he learned it. He took only 2 classes, and we came home, and now we're successful. I mean, we like everybody wants us to dance. A lot of clubs, a lot of people call us conventions and all that. And then I was 16, and he wanted me to be his girlfriend. I said, I don't have a boyfriend. I never had a boyfriend. I was 16 and I had a boyfriend because I was 100% for the art because I wanted to be a dance teacher. That's what I wanted to be. So when I went with him I have to ask my mom. My mom said, okay, go to the movies with him. I went to the movies, I was 16. And then I got married. I was 16 and he was 22. I remember he would take his girlfriends to the shows with him. I was a little girl. We was playing with dolls. I was only 12. He was 22. So we got married. And we were married for 57 years. I just lost my husband 6 years ago. This August 18 was 6 years that I was good. He had double pneumonia and he passed away.
What do you think made him different from other guitarists?
Well, first because he was the first one here. And he teach a lot of boys here. We have a great guitarist right now, but he's from Spain. His name is Luisma. Fantastic, but he's in Spain. You know, they were born over there. They know it. They know it all. You know. And my husband was the first one here, so he started teaching, and I think that's what made him. He was the first guitarist in San Antonio, flamenco, and I was the first flamenco dancer. And I guess that's how we did. And then they had auditions for the movie The Alamo. And they called him. He didn't have to audition. He was the only flamenco guitarist. So Curro had all his jobs. They said, Teresa, they called me from here and there. I said, go, it's a job. He had to go. I wasn't like, no, if I don't go, you don't go. No. It was his job, and my job was to teach or to dance. So there was nothing between us that would say, no, you can't go, or I tell him, no, you cannot go. Or he would tell me, no, you cannot dance, none of that. We were in show business 100%. We didn't work. I didn't work, he didn't work. All he did is play the guitar, all I did was teach and dance. That's a professional. Because some professionals, so right now they're professionals, but they're nurses, they're ex-secretaries, there's teachers, no, we were show business. We were the first couple we bought our home with the art. We have our cars with our art. I don't drive, but we had cars. We have our kids with art. Everything was art. Now my family, the other day, they're told me, did you ever push your kids to dance and to perform? I said, no. But I would take them all to all my rehearsals, to all my teaching. They would sit down and look. I never got my daughter, Elsa Champion. She's got a studio. I never put her here to dance. I said, she wants to dance one day, she'll get up and she'll dance. And she sure did. Now, all this used to dance, but now she's a flamenco singer. I think you saw her at Carmen de la Calle. Chayito. That's my daughter. So
I saw her yesterday, actually.
Oh,
she was at I didn't get to say hi because it was so busy, but she was at the museum.
Yes, they perform at the museum.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And I was going to go, but I had to teach. Sometimes I can make it, and sometimes, like today, I thought it was going to be somewhere else. And told my class mother, come early and you start the class. I thought it was going to be somewhere else. And then Chayito tells me, no, Mom, he's at the studio. I said, oh, okay, he's at the studio. So I got a writing, was here today to greet you, to say hi. And what else?
So when you hear some of the students play, does that remind you of him?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes,
And when Carmen de la Calle, I started crying. Oh, yeah. There's too many memories. We were married for 57 years. He passed away on August the 18th, and on the 28th of August was the anniversary of 50 years. all our life together. And I was just a little girl. I went, he was my first boyfriend. I grew up with him. So it was like, yes, at first I was just going crazy. I still remember him. I cannot forget.
Who were some of his guitar students?
Alejandro was one of his students. And a lot of the boys that were playing here, and they left San Antonio to play somewhere else. He was they saw him and they wanted to do like Curro. They went to play like Curro. But Alejandro Herrera took classes with him. And Steve Arispe saw Curro. He was like after that, he didn't want to teach too much because he was working at Amazon Rio for 45 years. In Amazon Rio, he was there, the guitarist there for 45 years. And then he was like more than 45 years at the Fiesta Noche del Rio. We did their first show in 1957. We did our first club, Fiesta Noche del Rio. Yeah. He was there forever. And I had to stop because I got more students, and I couldn't teach at my house. I had to rent a studio because the studio was growing, and I was teaching in my living room, and I couldn't because there was too many now because they was Teresa Champion or whatever, because I was the first one. I don't know what to add to tell you, but I know they had a lot of following. After that, when we got back and we're dancing, they called me for 2 weeks for Ballet Folklorico de San Antonio. And I went and I said, Miss Ramos, I teach in my house, but I can do it for 2 weeks with you. But I was there 12 years. Until her kids grow up, and then they were teachers. I teach her children for 12 years, and they grew up, and now they're teachers for the Ballet Folklorico de San Antonio. They're still teaching, and I was the dance teacher for them. So it went that way.
And then, just to go back a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask me whatever you have right now.
Chris was also a guitar student.
Yes. Well, when my husband passed away, when he got sick, we had to put a guitar there because his brother, my husband had a brother called Chayito Champion, and he would always, if something happened and we were out of town, he would stay there, and then we came back and then he stopped playing. But he passed away before Curro. He was 50 years old. He passed away. So now we don't have a guitarist, but Arispe was playing for my daughter, Elsa. That's Elsa's guitarist. And then my husband was go tell him he wants to play in the hospital for 2 weeks because he was real sick. And I said, can you play for 2 weeks? My husband thought that he was going to get out in 2 weeks. I thought that he was going to get out. I saw him sick, but I thought my husband, Curro, was forever. One of those things that you think, I'm going to go first, but you're going to stay forever. And we called Cristopher Arispe, and we asked him if he could stay for 2 weeks. He's still there.
At the La Mansión, right?
He's been there 6 years, 2 months, a month.
And he was also a student.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you ever go see a show?
Yes, I see him. He still plays for my daughter.
Okay.
It's his Elsa, my daughter's Elsa Champion, and when she has shows, she'll take him. Yeah, he's really nice. Sometimes it's hard to get him because now he works like Curro. His days off was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But then he plays Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, my husband used to play Monday to Sunday.
Okay. So who are some of your students that have gone on to?
Okay, I had these students that I'm gonna tell you, they were the best. Her name was Priscilla Trevino, and they call her La Presy. And that's too hard to do, but she had a studio in Spain. So I produced her. And when she went to New York from here, from San Antonio, she goes, Teresa, I'm going to New York. I said, that's fine. Write me a letter, don't forget about me. So from there, she went to Spain, and she died in Spain. She got heavy in drugs, you know, and it was no good. But she was one of the best dancers I ever produced. Okay, as a girl. Then Ana Machado left too. When they saw that Priscilla went and they did good, they went. But Ana Machado got married in Spain, and she had a stroke, and she was paralyzed. And then,
what was her name?
Ana Machado. Machado. She's one of my students, and he went to Spain and made it in Spain, performing in Spain. Okay. Then I had another boy. Now this is a boy, and his name was Timo Lozano. Very well known. He was the best dancer in Bolerias. To get a class with him in Spain, he would rent a place, and to get class with him, you have to spend the night there on the sidewalk, because he only had so many students, like say 20 students, but they said you went outside and you see them all, like 30, 40 students, and whoever there was first, that was the one that's going to take it. He got to know, but his mother got sick, and he lived here all his life, but his mother was born and raised in Galveston. So when she would become a widow, her daughter took her back to her hometown, which is Galveston, and Timo was still in Spain. Timo got married in Spain, had kids and everything, but now his mother got sick. So he had to come over here to be with his mother. And he told me, Teresa, I'm in Austin. If you ever need me, I'll be in Austin. That's what happened. He goes, my mother is very sick, and I just want to be still. I'm not going back to Spain. I'm going to see what's going to happen to my mother. Well, he was there like 3-4 years. His mother got worse and worse, and then, boom, cancer came. Cancer. Ya estaba ya anciana. Ya. Le entró cáncer y él la cuidaba for 4 years. Well, one day, he got sick, and he had cancer, and his mother buried him. He came to take care of his mother, and his mother buried him. So I guess the Lord sent him over here so he could be with his mother the last years that he was here, about maybe 4 or 5 years with his mother. Su mamá era anciana y la cuidaba, and his mother is still alive. And he passed right after Curro, so it's been about 4 years that he passed, and the mother's still alive. And I always think, I think Jesus said, okay, I'm gonna bring him over here, like make his mother sick so he could come. His mother got cancer, but she's still alive. One of those things that he said, like, you don't understand. He came to see his mother. Now his mother buried him, and he had cancer. I couldn't. So he passed. He was a tremendous dancer. Priscilla La Presy, and Timo Lozano were my best students ever. That they made it in the world, like in Europe, in New York, everywhere they went. And then they never forgot me. They would call me, they would write me Mother's Day, they would call me all the time. And Priscilla passed away over there. She married a gypsy, la metió en cosa mala. She didn't last.
I saw Timo perform here with Tamara, with the car crew a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
So I remember him.
Yeah, he was a terrific dancer. Muy bueno bailarín, pero se lo llevó la muerte.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't understand, Like me, I couldn't understand Timo passed away when he was here to see his mother and take care of his mother. And she's like, you cannot believe it. But like I said, uno pone, Dios dispone. It's not up to us. Okay? Some are lucky, and some have to go. You have your time and your day and the place.
So, can we talk about your scene in the Alamo?
Yes. Well, let me tell you about the Alamo.
How did you first get that opportunity?
Well, I saw it in the paper, and I said, hi, they're asking for auditions. But they called my husband to play, because now he's the only guitarist then. Alejandrito was a little boy, he was a dancer, he was a partner to us, my daughter. Okay? Arispe was not in the picture. He was in high school. Luis was not here. There's no guitarist. They called Curro. Curro goes. Because my father told me, why don't you go with Curro? I said, for what? Because Curro said, do you need dancers? My wife is a dancer. And then some lady said, no, we already have the dancers. They hire all the dancers from Parks and Recreation. It's a city. So that goes first. Not us. There's very good dancers everywhere in San Antonio, but cities first. So they took city girls, Parks and Recreation, city girls. So I said, so why do I go there? I said, Daddy, ya tienes my name. He said, just go so you can see John Wayne. He's telling me. I said, I'm gonna go. That's right. When am I gonna have a chance to see John Wayne in person? I'm gonna see him there because he's gonna be there directing the thing, right? So I went because to see him. And then my father said, take your shoes. And I go, Dad, they have all the dancers. I go, just take your shoes. Who knows? Maybe, who knows? Maybe they'll see then so you have an opportunity. You know, o sea, una de las muchachas no llega, maybe one of the girls don't get there on time or they didn't come at all and you're there, you have your shoes. Okay, I listened to my dad, I put my shoes on the back of my seat, in my car, the car, my husband's car. We went to Bracketville. So when we got there, all the dancers were already there with their skirts and everything.
The audition was in Bracketville?
They already had audition.
Oh,
Yeah, they auditioned here and they took them over there. But they're gonna see costumes, they were gonna try costumes and all that, and my husband has no audition, but John wanted to hear him.
Okay.
So everybody was in already, except my husband, but he was in because he was no guitarist. So, but John wanted to hear him play. I thought he said, if he's not good, they would bring one from Spain. That's easy to do, he had the money. So we went and he heard my husband. He liked my husband. He said, oh, this is good. I cannot imagine your because my husband is, her father is white. My mother-in-law was Spanish. She's Porras. And my father-in-law was John Champion. He's white, from the Valle. So, make the story short, John went on sing, and then I'm saying all the dancers are here, like we are. My husband was there, he finished the guitar, he played it like that. Then he turned around and he saw me. I was over there, like say, well, in the corner where the frame is. I was there. And he came straight to me, and I was going like, he's coming straight to me. Then I got scared. I said, maybe I know he's gonna throw me out. Because I have no business there. I wasn't a dancer. I was just like in pants and a little shirt, and how is he gonna throw me out? But I said, oh, okay, well, okay. Si me tira pa afuera, it's okay. I didn't want to come, but my daddy and Curro insisted on coming. I'm here. But if he tells me to get out, because sometimes they don't want you to take pictures or see them or anything, because it's, it's private. He's coming straight to me, and I said, oh, okay, I gotta go. If he tells me to get out, I'll just get out and wait in the car for my husband. And he goes to me, very close like this, like you and me. He goes, what do you do? And I said, I dance. I'm a dancer. He goes, how come you're not over here? He turns around and, how come you're not over here? Now all the dancers. I said, because you already have all the dancers. You had the auditions, and all of these girls made it, and they're here. Why didn't you audition? Because I didn't know. He goes, you didn't know about the audition? I said, no, I didn't. I'm here with my husband. Who's your husband? He said, the guitarist. Oh, the guitarist is your husband? I said, yes, sir. He's Mr. Wayne. He's my husband. And I'm here because I wanted to see you. I told him, I said, I want to know, I want to see you. Because I saw movies of you, but I've never had the pleasure to see you. She goes, well, you're going to see a lot of me. Antonia! She goes like that. Antonia is a choreographer from Spain. Her name is Antonia. And then she comes, yes, Mr. Wayne. Yes, Mr. Wayne. I want her to be one of the dancers. She goes, Mr. Wayne, we already have all the dancers. As he goes, Antonia, as I say, I want her to be one of the dancers. And you know what, Antonia, she's the one that's going to dance on top of the table. Mr. Wayne, we already have, like I say, she's going to be on top of the table. He liked my face. I don't know what he liked about me, okay? Because I just went with a little pair of pants, muy pobremente, con unos zapatitos y una blusita. I wasn't rich, I had no money. I was, down to earth, But I don't know what it was. Or maybe it was my time. But anyway, I told my husband, I can't, because, do you have a skirt? I said, no, Mr. Wayne, I don't have a skirt. He goes, do you have shoes? I said, yes, I do. I have them in the back of the car. Remember, my father told me to take them, and I didn't. And I throw them in the back seat. My husband runs, get the shoes. I start dancing because this is what I want. And he hired me. I don't audition. He got me from that little corner that I was there. I was like, when he was coming to me, I said, he's going to throw me out. That's the first thing came to me. Why is he coming to me, I thought he's I don't want to come, and they made me come, and I was like, how embarrassing, they're going to throw me out, Now that's because they booked me there. And I was there like 6 months. And then when he told me, we're going to show you where you're going to dance. And I go, I thought I was going to dance like here, from the floor. And then he said, this is where you're going to dance. And I look at the table. And I said, I got scared because I'm afraid of heights. And there was a little table. If you want to go back to the movie, it's not a big table. It's just a regular table. And I said, he turned around to talk to somebody and said, Curro, Now my husband's name is Curro. It's Willie Champion, le dicen el Curro. Curro, I'm afraid of heights. I don't think I can dance. He goes, Teresa. He goes, do you want to be on the casino courts all your life? You know the casino courts? It's like housing right now. But in my time, they would call it courts. Apache court, Marisol courts. You know the courts? Mm-hmm. He goes, do you want, she says, do you want to live on the casino courts all your life? Or you want a house? I said, I want a house. He was then dancing the table. I said, okay. So they put me on the table and I danced. And he said, we're gonna do it now, Teresa. He calls me like that. Wayne, Mr. Wayne. He goes, if you do it good on the first time, that's it. But you have to stop you. Maybe we'll be here like 3-4 hours until we do whatever we want you to do. Now the lady already showed me all the steps. I had that memory that you teach me the thing, and I still do, and I learn them. She told me, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to go here, and you're going to go there, and I was going like, oh my God. And I said, can you dance it for me one time? And the lady was dancing with me. I said, okay, I got it. I went out there. And
what type of dance was it?
Flamenco.
But what's the name of the style?
It was a tangos, tientos, gitanos. That's like my hair now. But I had just had a baby, and I cut my hair because they told me your hair is coming from your hair is too long. So my aunt cut it, and I had short hair because of that. I had just had a baby. My baby was like 2 months. It was a baby, and so I started dancing, and I talked to myself. I said, Teresa, do it right, do the best. I'm talking to myself because if not, you have to be here all day. And I was afraid. I'm afraid up to this day, I'm afraid of heights. Okay, I never outgrew that. Like I said, no, que cuando te haces vieja se te quita el miedo. No se me quita el miedo. Yo no me subo ni a los ponies ni a nada de rides because I'm scared. Okay, so I got up there and I said, okay, Lord, I bless myself. I turned around, I blessed myself. Okay, Lord, here I am. Give me that strength, to do it. John Wayne picked me up from my waist and put me in there. Said, okay, my husband and they were talking like, when this goes, and you're gonna go. They talked to my husband. So the minute they went like this, my husband go, and I started dancing. So
it was all in one shot, or
one time.
One time.
Yes, so I made sure it was one time because I was scared. I said, Lord, give me the strength. I want to do it only one time because He told me we're going to do it many times. Okay. And He goes, and you might be here 2-3 hours. I said, oh my Lord, up on the table, 2-3 hours, I came. When I finished, dijo, cut, whatever, perfect. He goes, that's it. We don't have to take the second time. It's the first time. It is. Then give her some wine, or give her a glass of the liquor. And I said, I don't drink. And he goes, how about wine? I said, I don't drink. And he goes, okay, do you drink water? And I said, yes, I do. Mr. Wayne goes, get her a glass of water. And he brings me down, and they give me a glass of water, and I was like this. How I danced, I don't know. And then right now I see them moving, because now they're going to do the opening. The premiere was at Broadway Theater, and I was there now, but because of the Centennial. They're going to do
Woodlawn?
Yes.
The Woodlawn.
Because of the Centennial, they're going to do the premiere again.
Okay.
And I'm going to dance.
Oh, you are?
Yes, but I told him, but not on the table. I'm too old, He goes, no. You're going to dance on the stage. But my daughter's going to sing, and we're going to have a guitarist. I think I don't know who the guitarist is, to tell you the truth. But I know I'm dancing, and they're going to do the whole premiere.
This year?
Y va a venir el que se parece a John Wayne. He walks like John Wayne. He talks like John Wayne. When he was walking, coming to me, she goes, you're the young girl that danced on the table. I said, yeah, many moons ago. He talks like him. He's wonderful. Es el que se parece, look alike, de John Wayne. His whole family is going to be here. It's going to be on the 21st of October.
So there's that scene where you do the final stomp,
Yep.
and then that guy jumps back. Was that planned, or is that?
No, they told me to do that.
But the
He was
guy,
going to hold me.
the guy that got scared, he jumps back.
Yeah.
Was he really scared, or was he acting?
No. It was a choreography. It was part of the dance because it was like he was going to hold me. He was going to get my legs and like pull like this.
Right.
And if you don't do that, Antonia, that choreographer said, she will touch your legs. Okay, so you be sure that he doesn't touch your legs. Because back then, no se miraba nada como ahora. que hacen love, que hacen eso. It was very, he couldn't touch my legs. But then he had to cut it and do it again. So I had to right away when I saw what I was going to do, and I saw him coming, I don't want to do it again. So it was fun. It was, and with that money, I bought my little house on Young Street. It was 2 rooms, kitchen and living room and a little bathroom. Everything was little. It was a little house.
Just, you don't live there now, right?
No, I sold it to my brother-in-law, and I bought a bigger house on half.
So did that role lead to other opportunities?
Oh, let me tell you, when I did the movie The Animal, they come in from everywhere. Okay, now I started, like I tell you, I started at the Fiesta Noche Rio, and they wanted me to audition again. And I said, audition? I was here in 1957, and I was dancing with you for about maybe 10 years, I don't know. My husband stayed, but I got out because of the studio. I couldn't handle studio and Fiesta and everything. So, and my kids, I had 3 kids back then, and I said, and I couldn't. So my husband stayed there forever, and I just had to get out. And then when the people found out, this lady found out from the ladies of the Daniel San Antonio, the ones that run everything, they heard that they want me to audition. And they went all the way to the capital of Texas to say, why do you want her to audition? When she was there, okay, she just come back from the movie The Alamo, and you want her to audition. That's discrimination. Well, I went to that point because they didn't want me. Why? I don't know. But when, you know who helped me a lot to get back? Henry B. Gonzalez. Back then. Henry B. Gonzalez. He put me back in the show. Because you put the show or they might just stop the show. So.
Were you able to dance any other places?
Oh, yes, I dance everywhere, yes. I dance at Mircea Auditorium. One of my theaters that I danced when I was a little girl, it was at Teatro Guadalupe. And on October the 20th, they have La Gloria. Have you heard of that? La Gloria? Mm-hmm. Okay, they closed about 2 blocks from Guadalupe Street. From the Theater Brazos, or the 3 blocks, and I don't remember, I think it's Trinidad, I don't know. Okay, they closed and they have vendors, artists, Blanco Jimenez, musicians, whatever you call it, it's gonna be there. Now the theater, they gave it to me. And it's gonna be free, and it's for me to present, they're gonna present me, and they're gonna honor me, and they're gonna present me, and it's free, the theater, they don't tell me, because my family is gonna perform. I have a granddaughter, she's a lawyer, but she's a dancer. She doesn't dance no more or sings. She's the leader of the choir in St. Leo's, and her husband is the leader of the musicians in St. Leo's Catholic Church. Well, she's gonna dance. And then the other one is a professor of dance in San Antonio College. She's gonna dance. All my grandchildren, my great granddaughter's gonna dance. She's 21.
This year, you mean?
Yes, the 20th, October the 20th.
So how many of your family members are dancing flamenco now?
Well, everybody dances.
Everybody?
Oh yes, everybody. I have 5 big children, and the 2 boys dance until the age of 12. When they went to middle school, or 11, when they went to middle school, completely stopped because they would make fun of them, or because they went in sports. One went to sports, the other one got banned. So now that those two grandchildren, my grandchildren, they have a band, y se llaman los Tejanos Muertos. That's the name of the band, Los Tejanos Muertos. So they're in show business, but musicians. The 3 girls that I have, it was Jennifer. No, the other one is uno de ellos is a chef. But not chiquito, but then when he got to middle school, like I said, he didn't go to sports or to band or anything. He just went to school, finished school, and he went to into chef. Es este músico.
Questions. So when you're dancing, what can you talk about? What are some of the emotions that you feel when you're on the stage dancing?
You know, it's like a little world. I always tell my students, we have 2 worlds: the dancing and our regular world outside. You know, so when I'm dancing, when you're dancing, there's a word that calls duende. It goes into you, and you start doing things that this lady came to me and said, my daughter's a flamenco dancer. I said, oh, good. And you want a private class? She goes, yes. And I said, okay, what do you want me to teach you? And she goes, faces. And I go, I'm sorry, I don't teach that. She goes, you're a teacher, you're a flamenco teacher, and you don't teach faces? I said, no, because faces, caras. I said, because I don't even know what I'm doing on faces. I don't know. Every step has something. Everything's maybe here or here. You don't know what you're doing because once the duende comes into you, and you don't at that moment. What's your name?
Marco.
Marco. At that time, Marco, you don't know if you have a father, a mother, children, husband, wife. You don't know. It's a little world of your little world, and you go into that, and that's you. And you perform, you make faith. You do. I don't even know what I do. I said, lady, I cannot teach you that because it's what you feel. If you're angry, you dance one way. If you're sad, you dance one way. If you're happy, you dance another way. It's always different. You never dance the same. The people that dance the same is because están hablando con técnica. Technique. What I teach them. All the time the same. But if you know how to dance, you can do something else. You're going to remember my steps, but you're going to go on your own because the wind will take you there. Sometimes you don't even have to think. It just comes in. You just go in and dance. I don't have a routine. When I dance, I can dance the same dance all night. It'll be all different because I don't have a routine. So, I think it's emotional. Como dices tú, how? It's because of that. And now the little word is when you finish dancing. I'm Teresa. I have to do this. I have to go to HB. I have to clean. I have to. Then yes, there's another little world. But when you're there on stage, it's completely another world.
So how do you define duende?
Well, that's when you're dancing, and if you dance good and you're not, if you're 100% for the art and you go to perform and you say, I do this. I said, okay, here I am. Let me do my best. Okay, let me do my best. And you start dancing, and all of a sudden you start. The duende comes in. The other day we had a show at the Pearl, and my granddaughter dances there, and the show was fine. Everybody was nice. Rizma was good. My daughter, the Chayito was good. The Jessica Orr was so good. Jessica said not very good. My granddaughter gets up, and right away you felt like I got chills, and I said, oh. When this here, he came so hard that he came from the stage to where I was. I mean, I get chills right now, and everybody was saying, just by the way she starts. Now you see my granddaughter dance. She starts already like she gets up and that's it. He said, oh my gosh, she's gonna be good. She's gonna do good. They're doing this with her. And you could feel, all the people said that they felt when Annette, her name is Annette Champion Flores, when she started to dance, you could feel when you could feel like, chills and everything is because he was there. She was with her, and she danced wonderful. But she doesn't dance too much because she's a professor in San Antonio College. She teaches dancing, and then she's got a school that's, escuelas, St. Mary's Hall, and what other schools that she teaches. So and she's got a family, and so it's very hard. But she's a dancer. Now you see her dance. I don't care who's dancing there. And then she's gonna get up there, and she's gonna dance like you won't believe. Sometimes she scares me. Sometimes I see her dance, and I say, "Oh, where did she get all that?" Because I teach her. She's